That's why you put it on fucking. Check, check, check.
Check, check, check. Check, check, check. How about now? Anything? You guys hear me now? Okay. Okay. Holy Jesus Christ. Okay. Hello, everybody. All right. Hello. Thank you for your patience and welcome to the first ever Nerd Torture live selection show. Do you know how it's the first one? Because I didn't have audio for the first 10 minutes. All right. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Now, last week, I asked you to suggest some terrible movies for me to watch. And all of you delivered. And I hate all of you. So really appreciate that. What we're going to do tonight is we are going to be taking all those options that you gave me. We're going to be putting them in this hat, which you saw me pantomime earlier. I'll tell you what I was saying. It was riveting. This is like some 1990s Chicago's Bulls. Genuine leather. Says it right there. Must be true. Going to take this. We're going to put all the options in there. All right. And then I'm going to pick out 3. And then if we have 4+ people watching, then I will allow you to vote for which movie I should watch. So you get a little bit of a double dip here. You got to choose the options, then you're going to choose the movie for me. Hello, welcome, Aritako. Welcome, Colin Cleveland. Welcome, Andrew. Welcome, Quandus Dingus. Good to see you guys. Good to see all of you. All right, so first movie, you can see, we're talking about Rollerball, which is a 2002 remake of a 1975 movie. That one starred James Caan. Rest in peace. This one stars Chris Klein, who is not yet resting in peace. And this was right around the Kleinaissance. Like, he was riding that American Pie wave. He was in Election. He was also in 2 movies that absolutely disappeared and just stayed in the 2000s. One would be Here on Earth, and the other one is called Say It Ain't So. Do you remember those movies? I vaguely remember Say It Ain't So. Heather Graham on the cover. That's about all I remember. Those movies are completely lost. Tenderloin, you're here. Good to see you. So, Chris Klein, Rollerball. He had yet to give us that wonderful performance in Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li. But before that, he gave us the Rollerball remake, also directed by John McTiernan, by the way. It's a huge bomb. Way bigger bomb than Last Action Hero. And grossed $25 million off a budget of $70. So, Rollerball going in there. Next up, we have... Get the transitions there. Beautiful. Next up is Kiss Me Monster. That was suggested by Agent Grady. I didn't know much about this movie. But apparently it's a campy late 70s kind of exploitation movie about these beautiful detectives who run up against Satanists and human cloning. So, Kiss Me Monster going in there. I'm not sure how I'm going to find that movie, actually. That could be a problem. But don't let that stop you from voting for it. Next up, we have... This one's called Vampire Diary, a second edition from Agent Grady. Vampire Diary, this is a 2007, not to be confused with the Vampire Diaries. It's like a found footage vampire movie. Looks pretty low budget, about a documentary filmmaker who wants to make a movie about vampire-obsessed people and then finds an actual vampire. Or, I guess as David Lynch would say, it's a movie about lesbian vampires. So, lesbian vampires going in there. A worthy contender. We'll see. We'll see. Colin, you love Say It Ain't So. Can you tell me just one thing about it that you love? I have not heard that movie for 20 years. Okay, next up is called Radioactive Dreams, 1985. This was suggested by Jest. Dino De Laurentiis production. It's my guy. Back in the Arnold days, Conan. The trailer says it's a comedy, rock and roll, post-apocalyptic noir. So it's pretty much right up my alley. I think the comments on this were like, it's not bad, actually. It's kind of fun. Very eclectic. Lots of cool practical effects. It's about two children who emerge from the nuclear holocaust as private eyes. Yeah, sounds awesome. I kind of hope that one gets picked. But I'm not going to sway your votes. You guys can do... Or you can rent Kiss Me Monster for $3.99. How about that? That's great. I'll pay for it myself. No Patreons here. Sorry. Okay, next up. We have a slow mouse that's trying to get me to my graphics. Oh, beautiful. Wizards of the Lost Kingdom, also from Jest, 1985. Swords and Sorcery movie, coming a year after Conan the Destroyer. So, kind of on the wrong side of Conan there. But the thing I found intriguing about this movie is that apparently only 53 minutes of usable footage was shot. And then they just kind of padded out the rest of the movie with leftover footage from Roger Corman movies. So I am very interested in Wizards. I mean, look at this. This is one of those things where, like, the cover art for these sword and sorcery movies was incredible. This is awesome. And then, you know, the movie is definitely not living up to what you see there. Okay, so that's Wizards of the Lost Kingdom. Next up, we've got ourselves Old Gordy. Gordy is a Miramax talking pig film. I guess it was also distributed by Disney, but originally Miramax, and it came out a year before Babe, as pointed out by Dave G when he made the suggestion. This was pre-Babe, the first talking pig. Well, not the first, but Gordy, let me tell you what the plot is. He's on a journey to save his family from being murdered in a slaughterhouse. Kids film. Never-Ending Story ripoff. Yeah, totally. That cover art looks shockingly like Never-Ending Story, but it's definitely not. Roger Ebert, talking about Gordy, he gave it 2 out of 4 stars. He said, "This is not the kind of film that rewards deep analysis. I rated it 2 stars, but I'd recommend it for kids. I cannot recommend it for people like me, but there are many other kinds of people in the world, some of them children, who believe that pigs can talk. And for them, Gordy is likely to be very entertaining." Wow. Ebert. Big Gordy head. All right, next up. We've got ourselves 1978's Laser Blast. Aritako, that was from you. A little hesitant to do this one because MST3K already did it. So, not really sure if I can match that. But if it gets chosen, I'll do it. It's basically, I think you said it was a Star Wars ripoff originally. But when I watched the trailer, it's like about this teenager, I think he's on Earth, he finds this alien laser cannon, and it like turns him into a monster, and he just murders a bunch of people. Yeah, so, and that poster is just crazy. I thought the poster was just like bad art of this guy right here, the main guy, but he ends up like kind of transforming into that monster. So it's going in there. If you want to see me talk about that, maybe it'll get chosen. I don't know. Okay, next up, we've got ourselves Colin and Cleveland bringing up Space Truckers. 1996, Dennis Hopper, Stephen Dorff, Last Action Hero alum Charles Dance. That is very 1996. Truckers in Space. And Truckers in Space, wasn't that kind of how they sold Alien? Like, they were just like, oh yeah, people like that idea of the truckers in space. What if we made Space Truckers? By the way, George Wendt also in Space Truckers, so worth it. It kind of looks like a Sci-Fi Channel movie. And it's also weird. Yeah, Dennis Hopper. This is like his third renaissance, right? This is like a couple of years after Speed and Waterworld. It probably went Speed, Waterworld, Space Truckers. And maybe he completes the trilogy there. And was that his last real renaissance? I think it was. I mean, I guess he was in like Land of the Dead, a George Romero movie, but I don't know. Not sure if he did anything worthy after that. Space Truckers, there you go. Yeah, Colin. I'm just riffing here. I got some things written down, but a lot of this is just pulling it from my own dome here. So here we go. Jonah Hex. This is from Boy Named Sue. Not sure if Boy Named Sue is on here, but this is his suggestion. 2010 Josh Brolin DC comic adaptation. Probably the most star-studded movie on this list. Megan Fox, John Malkovich, Michael Fassbender, Michael Shannon. Are you kidding? That sounds great. It's not. It's very bad. It was written by Neville Dean Taylor originally. I think they left after, well, they were going to direct it first, and then they left it, and then their career stopped. Like in 2011, they did Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, and that was it. Just Crank 2, Gamer, then they were gone. So they had something to do with Jonah Hex, but not enough. But maybe, I guess, the cast-off still destroyed their careers. Anyway, this was a huge bomb, critical failure. You know, I don't know, though. Everybody, it's 10 years old. Maybe it's time to rediscover a secret masterpiece. What do you think? Any movie over 10 years old, I talked about this in one of my videos. Any movie over 10 years old gets reassessed, and then everybody goes, hey, you know, I don't know. Maybe Dracula Dead and Loving It wasn't so bad. Never forget that. Slash film. Okay. All right. 2001, Saving Silverman. This was from Strider Kaijin. You guys remember Saving Silverman? Classic early 2000s comedy. It's got all the 2000s classics. Jason Biggs, Steve Zahn, a man Jack Black, Amanda Peet. This was right in the Biggs American Pie wave, just like Chris Klein. I think it's in between American Pie 2. He also starred in Boys and Girls and Loser. Also, two movies that are just lost to time. And I would say Saving Silverman probably too. And if you ask me the difference between any of those movies, again, I have no idea. I know one of them was directed by Amy Heckerling. I think that was Loser. And then this one has that weird obsession with Neil Diamond. And I think if my friend Bunker is on here, he may be a fan of this movie. I don't know. See, Colin in Cleveland, loving Saving Silverman. Very interesting. You may have to come on the show if that gets picked and defend it. Although, who knows? I might watch it and I might enjoy it again. I don't know. I remember feeling like it might be time for these movies to be retired. Okay, I had more to say about that, but I'm going to move on because we got to get this stuff going. I know we got football coming up. Okay, next one is Gods of Egypt. 2016, Thank You Face Man Guy. Oh, I see. Thank you, Colin. Yes, appreciate it. Okay, yeah, Gods of Egypt. So, Alex Proyas. Man, The Crow, Dark City, 1-2 punch, this guy. And then he followed up with like kind of an indie Garage Days, which I remember being very excited for because I was like, oh man, Alex Proyas, this is my guy now. And then I was like, I don't know. I don't know if he's my guy now. And then he did iRobot in 2004. And that had some pretty shoddy CG, if I remember. Knowing with Nicolas Cage in 2009. I saw that in the theater. I remember liking it, but not quite enough. Anyway, Gods of Egypt, $140 million budget. $150 million box office, which sounds like maybe they made $10 million, but no, because they put a bunch of money into the marketing and stuff. It's famous, of course, for being a movie called Gods of Egypt and starring 0 Egyptian actors. I guess they thought Gerard Butler was still some sort of box office draw in 2016. Most of the cast is white. This is a huge disaster, and I'm kind of really curious to see it. I told somebody in the comments before, curious to see it, but not curious enough to actually see it. So if I'm forced to watch it, no, that's probably the only way I'm going to see it. All right, moving on here. Son of Mask, suggested by my friend Mike Kelly, who's no longer my friend, thanks to this. It's a sequel to The Mask, coming 11 years too late, and also without Jim Carrey. Instead, we get Jamie Kennedy. This had a budget of $100 million. That's as much as Terminator 2, almost as much as True Lies. I guess Jim Carrey was going to do the sequel like in 96, but then he had a very bad experience on Ace Ventura, the second one, When Nature Calls. And so he was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do sequel characters anymore. And actually, if you go, I found Jamie Kennedy's YouTube channel. He talks quite a bit about Son of Mask and some of his other projects. And it's kind of interesting, actually. It's a good, 15-minute watch. He kind of goes into depth about why he ended up taking the movie and what went wrong, everything. But the movie made $59 million, which is still a surprisingly high number, I think. Anyway, Roger Ebert called this the worst movie of 2005. Yes, Ari Taco. I've also made that same vow. It would be fun if everybody actually watched, and maybe we'll do a thing. If you watch it, send in a video. I'll put your reactions in the video. That'd be kind of fun. Okay, next one. You can already see it up there. Halloween Kills by The Real Bennett. This is the 2021 sequel to the 2019 sequel that was the sequel to the 1978 one and ignored the 7 sequels in the middle and then the 2 Rob Zombie movies. And anyway, that's the thing to do, right? Terminator Dark Fate. So, yeah, like a sequel. And the first one, second one, whatever, Halloween 2020 was actually pretty good. I like that one. 2021, I haven't seen Halloween Kills, but it was pretty divisive. Yeah, Halloween 21. I agree. Halloween 2021 was not horrible. I cannot speak to Halloween Kills yet, but I kind of am interested in seeing this one too. So if you want to do that, and then actually the timing would work out because then I'll finish out the trilogy with Halloween Kills the next month. Okay, next up we've got Arthur 2 on the Rocks by another friend of mine, David Weinstein. 1988, this is a sequel to Arthur, not the Russell Brand Arthur, the Dudley Moore Arthur. Classic story. Arthur's a rich drunk. He has to choose between love or money. Arthur 2, he's a rich drunk who wants to adopt a child. Okay, yeah, that didn't go well. And it came out the same time as Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And, yeah, that was the end of the Arthur cinematic universe. Next up. Oh, I know he's in these. I know you're in these comments, Andrew. Highlander 2, The Quickening. This is the sequel to the excellent Highlander movie. Oh, man. Love Highlander. Came out the same year as Terminator 2 in 1991. And that seems crazy to me. The movie is a disaster. They clearly regretted killing off Sean Connery because they somehow bring him back. I do remember that. They bring him back to life. It's a mess. And probably more egregious, it's super boring. I remember renting it probably in 91, 92 with my dad and brothers. And we were all like, yeah, Highlander, it's great. And then we all fell asleep within a half hour. And we were out. And then an hour later, everybody woke up and was like, what the hell is going on? Who's this thing? And we just turned it off, took it back to Blockbuster. And that was it. That was the end of my Highlander experience. So I'll go see that, I guess, if you pick it. All right, here we go. Now we're getting into the really good stuff. Dear Evan Hansen, folks. Dear Evan Hansen. This one was suggested by Derek Smith. And this is the film adaptation of the Broadway hit about a high schooler who pretends he was friends with another student who committed suicide, and he does that so he can basically date the dead kid's sister and then also kind of become famous within his school and stuff. Sounds terrible when I say it like that. But maybe when you see it on Broadway, I did see it on Broadway, and a lot of that stuff kind of washes over you. It's a different experience. And Ben Platt in that show is unbelievable. The guy puts everything into that performance. And so much so that I remember him having to like post a video and go like, I can't come out, out the side door to sign autographs anymore after the show because like I'm emotionally wrecked. And everybody was like, hey man, come on. But yeah, it turned out that he really put a lot into it. Now, the problem with that is when you see Ben Platt as a 7-year-old at the time, and he's 50 yards away, you can buy him as a teenager. It's not a problem. But when you put him on the big screen and you put a camera right in front of his face and they try to like de-age him with makeup, yeah, it's going to be weird. Also, like, he's great in that role on Broadway, but does he need to do the role in the movie? I don't know. This is another one where, like, I've kind of been avoiding it, but I'm incredibly curious. So, could it be Dear Evan Hansen? Well, let's go from one musical to the next. It's fucking Cats. Inigo Montoya with the suggestion. You're going to kill me here. Cats. I've seen Cats. I've seen Cats the movie. I've seen Cats on Broadway. Kind of did it as a joke because I heard so much about Cats all my life. And so I saw it when it came back a couple years ago. And it's just, I mean, you've probably heard this before, but it's literally a musical just about different cats. Just, here's this cat, now it's going to sing, and then here's this next cat that's going to sing. And then, and then one of them goes to heaven. Because whoever sings the best goes to heaven. Cats, the movie. Man, what a disaster this is. This movie is very bad. Kind of entertaining, though. Like, I got through it. If I had to do it again, I don't know if I would make it. Okay, speaking of movies I have seen, here's another one I've seen. Book of Henry. 2 people suggested Book of Henry. I can't remember if I mentioned Book of Henry or if maybe it's in the screen grab or something. I regret putting it in people's heads if I did. But if you came to this decision on your own, we're done. We're done. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Book of Henry. If you don't know what the Book of Henry is, you are a blessed person. But this is already a pretty legendary movie. So Colin Trevorrow makes, Safety Not Guaranteed, little indie movie. Somehow off of that, they go, I think you should do the next Jurassic Park movie. And he does, and it's very fine. It was entertaining, and it was one of those things where it was like, just as they were doing kind of the, Force Awakens thing, where it's like, it's the same movie that you remember as a kid, just with a couple minor tweaks here and there. And so, like, he slipped that one by us, and everybody was like, okay, I think Jurassic World was not bad, made a lot of money. So, he gets offered Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker, or Episode 9, whatever he was going to call it. And in between those 2 movies, he's kind of given that blank check of like, hey, is there anything you want to make? And he says, oh yeah, I got this movie. It's been floating around for like 20 years. It's called The Book of Henry. And it is absolutely appalling. Like, it's one of those movies where sorry, it bothers me. When you think it can't get any worse, it does. And then it gets even worse than that. And you're like, well, there's no way they're going to go in that direction. And then they do, and then they go 3 steps past that. And you're like, how could anyone have let 4 of these things get through into this movie? To get to the point where that movie goes. I can't really say much about it because it's one of those, like, the trailer doesn't really give everything away, and it really can't because people would probably be arrested. And it, geez, just so bad. So anyway, it was so bad that Trevorrow lost episode 9. And now he's kind of denied that there's a correlation there, but if you've seen the movie, yeah, I would lose a lot of faith in his decision making. Although I am kind of curious to see what his episode 9 would have been now that we've got what we have. Okay, enough of that. It's Pat. It's Pat. We got 2 more left, guys. 2 more left. This was suggested by my friend Michael Kirschenbaum. And yeah, in the wake of Wayne's World becoming a huge hit, it was like, let's raid the SNL closet. What can we turn into a movie? Doesn't matter what the sketch is. Coneheads, Stuart Smalley, Ladies Man, this is a little bit later, Night at the Roxbury, Superstar, but the worst one, it's Pat. A 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. It grossed $60,000. The sketch was based on one joke, right? Is Pat a man or a woman? And they tried to stretch that joke that couldn't even fit 3-minute sketch length into a feature-length movie. They only got 78 minutes out of it. So this one may actually be okay for me. But, yeah, I'm afraid. I'm actually afraid of how this will age. But it's a perfect entry into It's Pat, into nerd torture. Man. Okay, last one, everybody. And then we'll get to picking. This one suggested by my friend Prossers, who did this on purpose because he knows I have a history with the Crow, City of Angels. I was there opening night, the first night it came out. We saw this, 1996. We were so excited. Man, we loved The Crow, Brandon Lee. Just great, great movie, but kind of a perfect moment. Unfortunately, very tragic with Brandon Lee, but that movie succeeded because of Brandon Lee in part, but also just the timing was kind of perfect. 1994, people were ready for something like that, a little bit darker. And then The Crow, they needed a sequel because it made a bunch of money. Man, what happened? A lot, actually. Harvey Weinstein showed up, and he took the 2.5-hour movie that they shot, and he said, no, this is not going to work. And he cut it down to 90 minutes? No, I think it's under 90 minutes, probably 83. I remember Iggy Pop being in it, and I remember very little else, but I do remember my aunt buying it for me for Christmas, and I opened it up in front of her, and I was like, oh, The Crow, City of Angels. Thank you, Aunt. I'm not going to say my aunt's name, but yeah. And then I tried a couple times to watch that movie. It's fucking horrible. All right, so that's it. Let's get to picking, all right? Thank you for sticking around through my technical difficulties, and next time we'll go a lot smoother. And here we go. I'm going to pick 3, all right? All right, here comes... Oop, I lost one. Hold on. All right, here we go. First one is... Don't know if you can see it. Oh, son of a mask. Okay. Son of the Mask. In contention. Number 2. Kiss Me Monster. All right. Number 3. Now hold it up so you can see. Could be you feel the quickening? Well, we'll see. It's Rollerball. All right. Give me 1 second while I set up a poll here and try not to break everything that's happening. Let's see. Okay, so which movie should I be tortured with? Let's go with Rollerball, Kiss Me Monster, Son of the Mask. All right, folks. The poll is up. Please vote. And while we're doing that, I will try to get us the trailer for whatever movie wins. So I'll see if I can do that. Where are we at here? I will not be voting, just so you know. Oh boy. I can't have it. We can't have it. Well, we have a tie. Oh no, it's a tie? Oh god, alright. Alright, let's see. Wait! Oh. Really? 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 Son of the Mask! You... Alright, hang on 1 second. I got the trailer here. You guys want to see this? Yeesh. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, everybody. There it is. Okay, here we go. I'll skip the ad, don't worry. Thank you for voting for Rollerball. You know, if you, I probably could have gotten a guest for Rollerball, but now you're not getting any guests for this. Jeez.
New Line Cinema presents
Who's the happy baby?
the next generation of mischief.
Mommy.
You said mama. Can you say dad?
Mother.
How are you and Albie doing?
Our son is bouncing off the walls.
From the director of Cats and Dogs.
I am Loki, god of mischief.
Give me my mask.
I think my dog ate it.
This cost $100 million?
This February.
What's happening?
One mask fits all. Jamie Kennedy.
Honey, I think it's time we trade up.
Alan Cumming.
This is a fake. Yes, but it's a good fake. Ow.
And introducing Otis as Otis the dog.
Buckle up, baby.
Son of the Mask.
All right. Well, there you go, everybody. Guess I gotta watch the sun. Like, now I have to... This isn't streaming anywhere, is it? No. This can't be streaming. I have to pay for this? Maybe I will start a Patreon. Jeez, come on. Let's find out. Before we go. Is it streaming? Got to pay $2.99 for it. Okay, well. Oh, man. All right, well, that's it. Son of Mask. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. Thank you for your patience in the beginning there. Worked all that out. And now I guess I'm off to... Well, I'm going to watch football first. And I got to finish True Lies. And I kind of got to watch Junior. But I also have to watch Son of Mask. How am I going to watch Junior and the Son of Mask? What is it? Son of the Mask? Son of the Mask. I don't know. All right. We got to go. Thank you. Thank you. Mike Kelly, don't ever talk to me again. That's it. We're done. You're out of the Fantasy Football League. I'm done. All right.